terms of the overall flow today, kind of broken down into 4 small sections for you. The first is we're going to go ahead and go behind the scenes in terms of different ways to customize the account to make it your own. In that second section, it's going to be all about this e-binder that you're seeing now. I'll go over the 3 different ways in terms of how to search and add new products into it, as well as cover some of the other great features within it as well. And then as part of that right to know, as I mentioned, you do need to make this accessible to your general staff. And we do that through what we call the viewer site. And we'll cover what they have access to. And then lastly, just want to wrap it up with some helpful tools and resources that are available at your fingertips within the account. How's that all sound today?
Sounds good.
Sure. Excellent. And if you do have any questions along the way, feel free to send them my way. I do want to make sure I address those so I can leave you a little bit more comfortable with the account.
Okay.
From there, we'll start up in the upper right under the 3rd tab over for setup. That's going to bring us into the system display, and more specifically the look and feel, in which we've customized the color scheme, and then as well as uploaded your GA Talis' logo down here below. Just below that, we'll go ahead and go into your e-binder settings. This controls that central management hub that you saw at the beginning of the training. As from here, you'll have the ability to select what data fields you want to display by simply checking on these boxes here. In addition to that, you can always drag and drop on how you want them to be ordered. And then as far as the documents are ordered, by default, we do have them sorted by when they were last added. But by any means, pick on any one of these other options, and then choose something that works best and most suitable for you guys. The other tab I want to cover is the Msds Online Search Settings tab. This controls anytime you're searching our database for a document, and from here you'll have the ability to drag and drop on how those columns are going to be sorted. This time around, by default, we do have it sorted by revision date descending, so you'll always see the most recent version based off of its revision date, and then have it sorted accordingly. But once again, find something that works best for you guys.
Okay.
As I move on to the outer side, we'll go ahead and go into the My Display section. And from here, you'll see the same e-binder and Msds Online Search Settings tabs. The main difference here is, let's say, Robert, you come into the My Display, they can change into it. It's only going to impact your individual login, or a system display is going to impact everybody account-wide. The next tab down is our Queue and Approval Settings tab. And right now, just think of the queue as your holding tab for all of your documents. And then from this particular settings tab, you'll have the ability to build out those different workflows in which you want that document sent to that queue for further review or approval, or if you want to bypass that altogether and have it sent directly into your e-binder. And move down a little bit further, we'll go ahead and go into user configuration. I just want to go over the major roles that are associated with the account. Once inside, you'll see the Manage Roles section with the 4 major role types. And Robert, as the account administrator, you'll have system-wide access into everything you're seeing today. And then I know with those additional licenses, you guys had them set up, as those administrators as well, which will have similar system-wide access. Or what you can always do is set them up as a manager and then give them location-specific rights to the account.
Yeah, I think when we originally did that log on, I had it as managers, but they should be set up as administrators. Okay. That's correct, yeah, so they'll have access to everything.
Okay, perfect. We'll go ahead and, if there's one that's assigned as a manager, we can always switch it over at that point too. Now for the rest of your general staff, you'll see that 4th row down towards the bottom designated as the viewer role. As part of that right to know, you do need to make this URL link accessible to them, whether it's on like an internal server that you guys use, Or if you have like shop computers, you can always place them on like a desktop icon. Do you guys get in consideration in terms of how you want to get this out?
Well, we're going to do training, and then I guess we'll go ahead and put the link on their desktop.
Perfect. Yeah, great way to do it. If you can always send over some further instruction in terms of how to get it out to them on those desktop icons.
That's fine.
That'd be good. Back in user configuration, just want to cover that manage user section, which controls the actual individuals who are signed up as administrative users on the account. So look like we did set up as we'll go ahead and change that over to the administrator, as you mentioned on there, Robert. Yes. And then from there, let me go ahead and just update Francis.
I think the only reason they were doing it as managers, I think when I originally did that, you couldn't do individual sites. It was managing for individual sites.
Right, yeah.
So this now gives access to all three, is that correct? The administrator has access to all of them.
Correct, yeah, the administrator is going to have system-wide access where that manager would only have like location-specific rights.
Okay.
To set up, just check on those locations. You can find them under Managed Data. And it looks like you guys had a couple locations added in. This is where you can build out, maybe you had another one, call it.
It's 2 pages. 2 pages. That's it. There's one more on the side.
Oh, that like composite repair group, Southwest or Northwest. Click on Save. You'll now have those 3 locations. And from there, you can always edit the name, move them, clone them. You can always upload a facility map and then start to assign particular product containers to them. And then in addition to that, if you always wanted to break it down, maybe inside the composite repair group, you do have like we'll call it a janitorial department. You can always build out accordingly from there and then begin to start to assign products and chemicals to those various locations. Were there any questions in regards to the location feature?
Yeah, my question on this, because the headquarters right here. So now that you're administrators and everyone has access, you would have to go to your specific location to add products on that. Is that correct?
From like a manager role, or?
Well, there's no manager. They're all administrators now. That's the license. You would have to go into, for example, I would have to go into I don't have a main site here. We have 2 repair groups under that. So they would have to go into them individually to add the products.
And so all they need to do is log in, through the Msds Online website. And then from there, back in the eBinder, let's say that lead acid storage battery needed to be assigned. What you could do is click on that checkbox, and you'll see the product options tray kick up towards the right. And if I were to click on assign to locations, I'd simply just assign what locations that product's at.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Last thing I want to cover back in the setup is going to be your account settings. And if you ever do need to change your password, you can do so here. Otherwise, just going to show some basic contact, service, and then lastly, Robert is just going to show some the billing information down here for you. How's that all look? Looks correct.
Looks good.
Yep. Were there any questions in regards to the setup before we jump back into that eBinder?
No.
No. All right. Moving back along into the eBinder, just going to cover those 3 different ways in which you can search and add new products. The first way is just going to be just in the tab to the right under our MSDS Online search. And I do recommend using this as a starting point for whenever adding new products or chemicals. And the reason behind that is it's free for you. You have unlimited use of it, and then you have access to the millions of documents housed inside the MSDS Online database. Once you're inside, you'll see a search bar at the center. And from here, you can maybe search by product name, product code, manufacturer, CAS number, or synonym. So let's say you were looking for a glue remover. You can type that out, and it'll narrow it down through our database. And once you have your search fully entered, in this particular case, it's going to pull back 80 products that have the words glue and remover in one of those 5 fields. Once you do have the search pulled back, you can also narrow down your results over here along the left, whether that be by manufacturer, revision date, language, or regulatory format. Once you have them narrowed down, let's say for this case today, we're going to pick on that. After you narrow it down, let's say you find that goof off super glue remover needs to be added into your eBinder, at which point you can simply click on the PDF, verify that that's the one you're looking for, and then once again you can always assign out to one or multiple locations as needed. Once you have those set up, simply click on Save. It'll let you know it's successfully added, and from here that green checkbox that designates that product is added into your eBinder as well.
Cool.
Now let's say you guys come in here, perform the search, can't find the particular document you're looking for, but you do happen to have a PDF version of it on your end. What you can do from back at the eBinder, under that second tab down, go ahead and select on Upload. And now at which point you're simply going to browse for that particular PDF. And then once you do that, you'll see some document details display on your screen. And from here, we require both the product and manufacturer names, along with the revision date. However, any one of these additional fields down here below is going to be added icing onto the cake.